Hi, good morning everybody. Thank you for tuning into Virtual Storytime with the National Railroad Museum. I'm your host, Engineer Alyssa. If you're watching this live on Facebook, please comment and let us know that you're here and share it with your friends. We also like to invite you to like our page on Facebook and to follow us so you can stay up to date with everything that's happening at the museum. The National Railroad Museum is a nonprofit organization supported by private and public donations and by our members. For more information about supporting the museum or becoming a member, please visit our website, nationalrrmuseum.org. Our book today is Pete the Cat's Train Trip. I love Pete the Cat stories. I think they're super cute. The back of it, just the way he walks and his little feet. I just love everything about Pete the Cat. And you'll see in the story when he gets his hat, he has a hat just like me. So we both have engineer hats, and he gets to explore the locomotive. I remember the first time I went into a locomotive, I absolutely loved it. And then when I got trained to operate it, I learned the throttle, which makes it go, and the brake, which makes it stop, and a bunch of other gauges and numbers and things to do, like the handbrake. And I had to watch to make sure that the air pressure was up a certain ways before I could get going, and the horn, and just everything. I absolutely love working the locomotive and learning more about it, and it's just the best. I love it so much. And now Pete, he gets to check out his own locomotive on his train trip. So on the back it says, "All aboard, Pete the Cat can't wait to visit Grandma, especially because he gets to take a groovy train ride to see her." So let's get started with Pete the Cat's train trip. And if you like Pete the Cat, you can always tell me below your favorite story with him, or if you like this one, that's awesome too. So Pete the Cat's train trip. Pete the Cat is going to visit his grandma. He gets to ride on a train. Pete's mom buys 3 tickets, and she gives one to Pete and one to his brother Bob. Pete looks up at the big board. "Our train is leaving at 10 o'clock, he says. A train speeds by. "That's a cargo train," Bob tells Pete. So we see our schedule at the station, and then we see a freight train. So you can see box cars and tank cars, and they're hauling freight. Pete's train has arrived. "All aboard," calls the conductor. Pete's mom finds 3 seats. "I can't wait to see Grandma," says Bob. "And I can't wait to explore the train," says Pete. Have you guys ever ridden a train before? Even the one at the museum, you can tell me that too. The conductor comes to collect the tickets, and Pete hands over his. "I love trains," says Pete. "Well, I'll show you around," says the conductor. And this is where Pete gets his little engineer hat. Conductor's in charge of the train. And Pete follows the conductor from car to car as the floor rumbles underneath his feet. "Wow," Pete says when they get to the caboose. "We're going over a bridge." Our train at the museum goes over 2 bridges, a high bridge and a low bridge. Pete sees his mom and Bob. They are at the snack bar. "I got this for you," says Bob. So some passenger trains have snack kiosks. Oh, watch out, Kavik. Sorry. Pete follows the conductor, and he goes in front of the train. "Come in," says the engineer. So we finally went all the way to the back of the train, and now we're back at the front. "Wow," says Pete. The engineer shows him the engine. The engineer shows Pete the train's brakes, and there's a tunnel up ahead. So we can kind of see where it says fast and slow, that's our throttle, and then the brake, that says stop. So stop and go. As they go through the tunnel, Pete gets to honk the horn. Toot toot! Everything is light again. Thanks for showing me around, says Pete. On his way back to his seat, Pete stops and makes some new friends. They live in different towns, and they are getting off at different stops. So we see a little chick and a little cow friend. Oops. Sorry about that. Pete plays games, and a little kid wears his hat, and Pete sings a song. What a groovy ride. So you can do lots of things on passenger cars. We get off at the next stop, says Pete's mom. Toot toot. Pete looks out the window and he sees... What do you think he sees out at the station? Oh my goodness. Grandma! Pete is the first one off the train, and Pete's grandma gives him a big hug, and it feels good. So what he was waiting for the whole time was to see his grandma, and she was waiting at the station for him. And Pete loves riding the train, but he loves his grandma even more. So it looks like they're coloring pictures, and he colors onto the train. Alright, so there's our book, Pete the Cat's Train Trip. I hope you liked it. I love Pete the Cat stories, so that's why I chose it. I was really excited to read this book. I will be posting a craft down below and also on our website in the activity zone. You can find all my past story times there, and I'm also up on YouTube. If you missed any or want to go back and re-watch any stories, if you had a favorite, they're all up there. This is also in our store. Unless you have it at home already, which is super cool. Yeah, I'll be back the rest of the week at 10 a.m. So I'll be there in the morning. So I hope to see you all there and read stories with me. It looks really nice and sunny out today, so I hope you have a wonderful day. Can get outside for a little bit. Bye.